I was recommended this random video with an insanely brain-rotting thumbnail while working on something else, and thought it was so weird I'd throw it in and see if anyone else knew what the hell it was. Well, apparently everyone knows, everyone loves it, and now they want me to freaking rank every episode. It's a show called Larva, featuring, well, some larvae I'd assume. I'm going into this almost completely blind, so I get to react to each of these fanfare episodes that apparently everyone in the world has seen except for me. That was the main reason I didn't want to do this video in the first place, but I've seen other videos on the show pop off, so I figured I might as well go for it. I had finally been convinced I'll try ranking some Larva episodes. I thought to myself, let's just try season 1, see what people think. You know, keep the video short, not spend too much time on it, I might not even have to worry about copyright. So I looked up season 1, and there's only 103 episodes. Oh my god, there's 103 episodes! So I guess that means we're splitting the list in half then. Join me today as we rank every Larva episode. Of course, every meaning the first 52, obviously. Without further ado, let's find out if this Larva show is at all entertaining, or if it is so bad, will my sanity even be worth maintaining? I'm not dilly-dallying today, we're recapping the episode, I'll say what I think, and we're moving on before this video has the chance to become an hour long. Look how much time we wasted already, oh my god, I gotta get going! The first episode, simply titled Ice Cream, introduces us to our main characters. Cleverly and appropriately named Red and Yellow. Makes my job easier, I suppose. They live down in the sewers, kinda just chilling. Then a coin falls and gives Yellow brain damage, which generally jump scared me. Red gets something else on him, but thankfully it wasn't cum, it was just ice cream. Yellow loves it so much he starts sucking off Red. Red beats him up a little, tries to eat some, only to end up passionately kissing Yellow, beats him up even more. Then this guy shows up, who the hell are you? And when Red tries to get ice cream one final time, Violet reveals his true form, and Red says his goodbyes as Violet opens its gaping maw. That was one episode, people! And I have to be honest, that was incredible. I had such small hopes for this show, but it went from 0 to 10 immediately. The use of sound effects is a little much, but other than that, I actually thought this was great. S tier. Next is Mosquito. Red falls off the bed and his nose bleeds, making this random mosquito go for the kill. To my surprise, he succeeds, draining all the red out of, well, Red. Yellow is next, who hides in a tin can. Red seems to hate Yellow. He gives away his spot while dying from blood loss. Yellow tries to escape but gets stuck and drained as well. Our main characters die by the second episode, I guess. Then there's Violet, again. We expect this beast to eat the mosquito, but instead the mosquito wins. It's just super fat now, that's how it ends. I didn't mention in the last one, but I really love these little ending animations. For some reason, Yellow becomes a vampire and bites Red again. This was still pretty great, honestly, but not as good as the last. A tier. It's raining in this episode, and when Yellow tries to take cover with Red, he's pushed onto a bottle cap that sounds like tap dancing shoes. He dances for a while, and Red surprisingly joins him. They do a little duet, grabbing Violet's attention. He lunges in, just trying to have some fun too, squishing Red and Yellow in the process. I'm genuinely surprised how entertaining the show is. I am not joking, I thought I would hate it. Still, this episode is very tame compared to the others, C tier. Red is chewing on a screw, he's so hungry. Then he notices Yellow has an infinite supply of mushrooms to eat. Wait, there it is! He makes the meme face! Anyways, it's just like the ice cream episode, every time a mushroom grows, Yellow gets to it first. For a while. Red is fed up and accidentally causes a big drop of mushroom juice to fall, with a massive mushroom smushing him at the top. The charm is still there, but they're already repeating the same idea of the first episode only 3 later. I think that's a D tier. This one's called Gum 1, and the sad thing is we will not be getting to Gum 2 in this video. It's crazy how many episodes it took to make the long-awaited sequel to Gum. Anyways, Yellow tries to eat some gum and gets stuck in the process. He pulls away to reveal Red was stuck underneath it. They both get launched, and they're kissing again. Great. The rest of the episode shows them almost getting stuck, only to make it worse. Then, Yellow starts farting. The fart bubble pops and Red freaking horrifically dies. I thought this show was for kids. Anyways, that episode was terrible, F tier. The sewer is frozen over in this one, so the larvae slide around a lot. Massive icicles start falling around them, and as they use their tongues to move around, they're frozen over. And then... man, this show immediately got horrible. A dog pisses in their mouths. Hilarious. They spit out the pee, and then the icicles push them back into the pee, and then they freeze in pee and immediately die. I don't even know what you want me to say about that. F tier. Red wants to drink a little juice from a straw, but fails somehow. It's a straw, you just suck, idiot. Yellow doesn't understand this either. I did laugh when he gets beat up a bit. He even gets a cool Smash Bros. Screen KO. Finally, they actually use the straw right, and it's a suck off. Red loses, getting stuck in the straw, while Yellow finds the full juice box to chow down on. But what would a Larva episode be at this point without a fart joke? That's all it is now. It had enough okay moments to earn a D tier, I guess. While the two are sleeping, a massive Venus flytrap suddenly attacks. This thing grew overnight? It nearly eats them when none other than Violet finally returns. Apparently these guys are friends now as Violet fights the plant. Sadly we don't get to watch, that would be too hard to animate. Violet wins until 4 more plants show up. Now I think what happens is Violet pretends to be one of them, turning on the larva, but I truly don't know if that's what they were going for. Either way, no fart joke, so it's instantly a C tier. Yellow and Red play with the marble until it bumps into this new character, the Snail, whose name is Rainbow actually. Apparently, it being insanely slow is funny to the larva. They make fun of it until they get spit on, causing them to be slow, somehow. If snails could really do that, they'd be much more terrifying creatures. Just then a can of poison starts oozing towards them. What? They learn to use their tongues for speed, making fun of the snail again. So Rainbow rolls forward, spits on their tongues, and deuces out, leaving the two to die. Honestly, deserved. B tier. This one's a pretty typical snoring episode. Yellow won't stop snoring no matter what Red tries. He puts matches in his nose and he ties his mouth shut, leaving only one hole for air to go through. That's right, more farting! Don't worry though, if you were sick of that fetish, his butt gets plugged and all my inflation-loving homies out there are going crazy right now. But we're not done, oh no! He lets out a big fart, killing Red. And then he sucks Red into his asshole. Why? I actually said why out loud when I saw that. I feel so defeated. F tier, obviously. Please give me a good episode again. On a very hot day, a piece of popcorn is out in the sun. They both want it, but it's way too hot to get there. Yellow goes for it anyways, but shrivels up from the heat. Red takes a big swig of water and rushes out to him, and they play a nice little tune as they look lovingly at each other. And then Red grabs the popcorn and bolts. That is just genuinely very funny. Yellow pulls them back and they both are sure to die until Violet saves them. But of course, he also just wanted the popcorn and they die anyways. It's kind of a disturbing episode as a whole to be honest, but compared to the farting stuff, it's definitely a B tier. I don't know how an entire bagged fish got down here, but at least we have a new character named Navy. I like that, it fits both the color theme and the fish theme. Better than Rainbow the Snail, that's for sure. The larva instantly fall in love with Navy. It fake kisses them and it freaking drives them insane. But the bag pops! Red tries to hold it but drinks the water and it shoots out of his asshole. So naturally, Yellow makes this into a human centipede style mission. Yellow's diarrhea water fills a tuna can and they give Navy a new home. But the water is so stinky and infected, it's just over for Navy. The after credit scene reveals a new mutated form for the guy, and hopefully we'll see him again. I actually really liked the beginning, but they ruined it as always. D tier. The larva eats some ham, and Red decides he gets the bigger piece. While they're asleep, Yellow sneaks away to eat Red's ham, and is basically the opposite of the snoring one now. Red keeps waking up, and Yellow has to get him asleep. So Yellow gets the ham, Red wakes up, Yellow throws up the ham, and then Red beats him up. There wasn't a ton of toilet humor here, but it was still a bad episode. D tier. On a dark and stormy night, Red steals Yellow's piece of candy, and then Yellow gets electrocuted. And even though the episode is called Psychic, he apparently gets telekinetic powers from this. Now he's in control, the candy is all for Yellow. Naturally, Red goes to get electrocuted too, and through a battle of the minds, Red is clearly stronger. He's so strong he pulls a completely random and unintroduced dung beetle named Brown from off screen. Can you believe it? The dung beetle is named Brown. Funny stuff. Red gets stuck in Poopy, and when he threatens Brown with his mind powers, Brown just slaps him in the face and shoves shit in his eye sockets. That one was a little random, but not bad. C tier. Now they're sharing a candy, but are interrupted by this stinky new fly character named Blue. The fly ruins everything it touches, and when it goes for the candy, Red and Blue get stuck in a bottle. I love how the larvae say their goodbyes. Apparently they actually care for each other in this one. Yellow chips his tooth and then licks the candy away, freeing the fly. Yellow puts matchsticks in his nose so he won't smell the stink, and immediately I knew where this is going. The match is lit and there's a freaking massive explosion. I have to say, that's one of the better ones we've seen so far, so what the heck. A tier. Now the larvae fight over some spaghetti. It has been a while since the two kissed, am I right? Red gets stuck to a piece for a while until Yellow eats that one too. The last one is hanging from the ceiling and they pull on it so hard the grate comes off. That's a pretty crazy moment, and a freaking tough piece of spaghetti. Red brutally dies from this, by the way. What an ending. Not bad, B tier. Yellow finds some bubble wrap, but Red steals it and pops all the bubbles. What a menace. This genuinely makes Yellow depressed, immediately. Thankfully they missed a bubble, that's all it takes to cheer Yellow up. Before he can die for it, Red trips and pops it by accident. So depressed Yellow decides to pop Red instead. I think it's funny how sad this makes Yellow, and Red actually tries to be nice for once. A tier. Our first epic two-parter, I can't freaking wait. I think the writers were going through something when they made this, now Red is depressed. He leaves a gift of ham for Yellow, becoming a cocoon. I love how Yellow does not hesitate to use it as a punching bag, he goes crazy on this thing. This causes Red to emerge too early, but it's crazy to see him with legs and wings here. They fall off though, and we're left on a cliffhanger. I can't wait, I need to see what happens now! Now! B tier! Red is having crazy PTSD flashbacks from being beat up in that cocoon, but it looks like it's Yellow's turn this time. Obviously Red wants revenge and he goes to town on his cocoon. Yellow comes by to see what all this commotion's about and, wait a minute, if you're Yellow, then who's driving? Reno! Turns out Red was messing with the coolest freaking character we have seen so far. A massive Atlas beetle named Black. So Red gets the piss knocked out of him and it's the best. I love Black so much, I think I gotta say S tier. I generally think this episode title is a typo, since the episode is about pudding, except it's actually Jello, not pudding. Yellow tries to get Red out of it, eating as much as he can take, but it's no use. He shakes his head as sad music plays, but does end up helping. But then Yellow gets stuck and now they're both fat. And then they throw up all over each other and it ends. That might be one of the worst ones yet actually, F tier. Now they're eating a massive piece of watermelon and there's so many seeds they start spitting them at each other. It's all fun and games until Red eats some snot, and they slide back and forth for a bit until it becomes an epic skateboard trick. It should have ended there, but some of the watermelon splits in half and Red gets shot at the side. And that's how it ends, obviously. These episodes, man, why can't they be good anymore? C tier. Red seems to be sick, and while Yellow is helping, a UFO attempts to suck him up. Crazier things have happened, I'm not even fazed by this. The UFO seems to heal things, so he sacrifices Red. To push him to the grate, he jumps in too, and they get beamed up together, resulting in a real cat-dog situation for our favorite little larva. That was a cute one, I guess that means A tier. The sewer is flooded, so when Yellow lassos a piece of meat, none other than Navy returns to steal it. He looks insane now. Yellow gets wrapped in the rope and pulled under, and they literally play the funeral march music. But of course he's fine, he actually rides and skis around with Navy. They seem to have won, the meat is right there and Navy is dead. But they get smacked on the ground and the funeral march plays again as if they're buried alive. That was by far the best episode we've seen since the first one, I have to say S tier. Red flushes a massive log, and on his way back he trips, dying instantly. Having an out-of-body experience is kind of fun, so he does it again and again. He messes with Yellow a bit, accidentally possessing him. He goes and possesses Violet too, leaving him trapped in a tin can. Yellow finds his dead friend and, once again, becomes depressed. Much more reasonably this time. A dead friend is a bit more sad than bubble wrap. The ending of this one is great though. He gives Red the old Viking ceremony, burning the corpse. I love that one, another S tier. It's winter once again and it looks like they burn each other alive one too many times. Red joins Yellow at the hot spring, which looks nasty, but apparently none other than Black wants it all to himself. The larvae are outside the water for 2 freaking seconds and they immediately keel over and die. So Black decides to be nice and let them join him. But apparently they're incapable of holding farts in for 5 seconds and they both get tossed out. I'm so conflicted, I hate the farting but I love Black. I guess that means B tier. The larva boys play a bit of hide and seek. Apparently when you get found you get tongue punched in the face. I gotta try this to my friend sometime. Yellow wants revenge. When he sees an object, he just obliterates it. He somehow doesn't see Red inside this box, and when Red scoots away, he falls into a bottle underground and drowns. Yellow gives him quick CPR. He has to save his friend, so he can get his revenge. I love that one. Not S, but a solid A tier. This starts like it should be the sequel to Gum 1, but no, this is Earthquake. Objects fall from the sky and hell itself breaks through. Red freaking reaches lava down there. He loses hold of Yellow and is seen mourning him once more. Like an angel, Yellow rises from the depths as the world below him crumbles. Red, as always, gets stuck on the other side with no bubble to keep him up. This takes us one more high, yet nothing really happened. C tier. I would love whatever hair growth solution dropped on Yellow. He got a full freaking pompadour in just 10 seconds? Red laughs hysterically, but Yellow agrees. He's looking good. Red tries some for himself, but apparently it can't cure baldness. But then it starts growing through their noses and eventually goes completely out of control. Again, not much to even say here. C tier. Now there's been a real flood. The larvae are fighting against the current with all of their energy. But if there's water, that means Navy is back again. He eats their boat and goes for them next. They climb a vine and hang on for dear life as Navy circles them. They fight over vines for a bit until Red falls. Yellow goes to save his friend, but just pushes him into Navy's skull instead. Truly, these last few episodes have felt less focused than the show normally does. C again! Now there's a swamp in the sewer, and when Red goes to retrieve his ball, he starts to sink. Yellow attempts to help him, but then... oh, he's right behind me, isn't he? This massive frog genuinely freaked me out. How the hell was I supposed to expect to see that? Obviously the frog's name is Green. He goes to eat them but starts to sink himself, and now Yellow has to pull them both out. He manages to grab Red, but the frog won't give up. Naturally, they fart in his face and he moans in disgust. But they land on the can lid, launch in the frog's mouth, and sink as one big bored family. What a series of events. B tier. Walnut seems much more down to earth. They're just snacking on some nuts. They can't break them open though, so they enlist Black to help them. Yes! Red's plan is to apparently piss him off enough to get punched, putting a Walnut there instead. This freaking breaks Black's hand and he starts doing the Peter Griffin knee bit. They lovingly share the nut before being turned into nutcracker slaves as they very clearly deserve. Not bad, B tier. An entire soda bottle falls, and while they enjoy some of the mist, the cap launches Red off screen. Apparently Black is just the main part of the cast now, and he wants a swig. Yellow drinks as much as he can before Black shakes him up and launches him away. Red very amusingly jumps in to do the exact same thing. This goes on for a bit until they both end up in the bottle, and Black shakes him up and rides around on them for fun. I don't understand this episode, but I still loved it. A tier. In the episode titled Frog, we start with Green just kinda chilling, minding his own business. The larvae are terrified, but it's fine. Green is cool. They croak at each other for about 15 seconds before Yellow farts and ruins it. Thankfully they start croaking a song, and now Red ruins it by breakdancing around cringefully. Frog just eats him on the spot, and it's absolutely deserved. I truly don't understand that episode, and I also didn't like it. D tier. There's somehow a massive windstorm down here, and the larvae hold onto a stick for dear life. Then Blue grabs on. Remember Blue? I don't blame you if you don't. Red pushes him off, but then Black, some random Moth, and Rainbow all grab hold. Brown and his massive dookie ball break the camel's back, and Red releases all the others to save himself. Which of course means the wind reverses, then stops, and the pool ball crushes Red. As always, deserved! A tier. Red apparently has a cavity, his brown tooth is showing. I guess in this world they just pull the tooth and call it a day. Yellow runs at full speed, but it's not enough. He bungee jumps and all his other teeth come out instead. Hey, wait a minute, this is just Tooth Royal from Angry Birds Toons. This did come out before then, but Angry Birds definitely did it better. Anyways, finally comes to finish the job, pulling out his entire row of human-looking teeth. That's genuinely scary. B tier. They've streamlined their hide-and-seek punching game down to a simple coin toss. So much more efficient. Red wins twice by cheating until it gets stuck in Brown's dung ball. When Yellow tries to get it, he freaks out and starts rolling at a top speed. He grinds out the watermelon rind, rolling Brown and Red up with him. They hit a bottle and the ball explodes, landing the coin on tails. Red gets a big ol' wallop and the episode ends. I did kinda like that one actually, A tier. While fighting over a piece of cheese, the larvae land on a piano. They fight at first, but soon join together to play some chops. They straight up play like the full song. And apparently they had an audience to cheer them on. There was a mystery pink larva we haven't met yet in the crowd. Then out of nowhere, Frog lands on top of them and plays some beautiful music. When he's done, the crowd cheers, and then he just eats them all. Why not? Although this was very pointless, nothing episode, it was kinda charming. A tier. On a cold winter's night, the larvae find a piece of candy only to be ambushed. They climb a hill and get their war paint on, and the snowball fight ensues. I couldn't believe how smart it was to use the dung beetle's skills to make a massive snowball. That's genius! They push over a full can of corn, and while the others eat, the larvae get jealous. I love the ending, just watch this clip. The episode as a whole sucked, but the ending saved it. B tier. Guys, we finally got an actual sequel. Flood 2! Navy is back for revenge. First pushing the log, then snapping it in half. When they lose a log, they just start rolling on Navy. It's awesome. Until they fall off the edge of the earth, of course. Somehow Navy's tiny little fins can fly them up to safety, but Navy just turns around and pushes them up anyways. Honestly guys, the sequel is always worse, and if Flood is in C, then Flood 2 has to be D. Ants suddenly exist, and they each have food that the larvae can steal. They eat everything, and the ants are pissed. This just feels cruel. Red pretends to offer a mushroom, but just spacks through them while the rest watch.
Your life literally is as valuable as a summer ant. I'm just gonna stump you. You're gonna keep coming back. I'm gonna seal up all my cracks. You're gonna keep coming back. Why? Because you keep smelling the syrup.
So the ants team together and make a big mech suit to beat them up. It's kinda awesome, honestly. They do this weird chant that sounds like bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. Then they claim the larvae as their victims, hammering them down the ant hole. I love that, S tier. Oh no, Yellow has a stomach ache. That means more farting, yay! They both got a shit, but there's a line for the bathroom. But of course they're stuck behind Rainbow, and it takes so long they die by farting out their souls. I mean, the joke's alright, but it definitely deserves an F tier, that sucked. The larvae start this episode by literally just finding a mummy. In 3 seconds there's already a mummy on screen. But there's an insane twist you could not possibly expect. His face is revealed and Red's dad? It's a happy reunion, but apparently the sun hurts him. He's starving, so Yellow gets him some food, but knocks over a spoon, causing a beam of light to interproject to his follower, killing him instantly. Jesus Christ, what the hell? Yellow commits murder, they just move on, I guess. For that plot twist alone, I gotta say S tier. Now we meet B, who probably would have been named Yellow if that name wasn't already taken. The larvae set up a trap to capture him and steal his honey, and they love it so dearly. Oh. The bee escapes and he's pissed, just in time for the larvae to finish the honey. The bee goes on a killing spree, stabbing them so much they can't even freaking recognize Red anymore. They absolutely deserved it though. I'm on the B side. Appropriately, B tier. The larvae have a balloon to play with, bouncing around it like a trampoline. Yellow deflates it and they're not strong enough to fill it back up. Violet offers to help, and they decide standing on the balloon is somehow a good idea. Well, dumbass, it was! And now they can bounce around all they want. If only Mosquito, that's right, Mosquito, the character we haven't seen since episode 2, wasn't there to pop it. Both the larvae go, no, suck me, not him. If only there wasn't a line of mosquitoes waiting for their turn too. This was such a wholesome episode actually, A tier. Oh my dear God. Pink is a freaking babe. She's mine. Back off, Red. The episode results in this weird love triangle. Yellow just likes food while Pink loves Yellow and Red loves Pink and no one loves Red. She does give Yellow some meat she got from Red and they cuddle a bit and Red just lays on the ground and cries. Some weird Halo music plays while Yellow farts hysterically and Pink loves it. But the bro code is too important, and Yellow gives up his stupid hoe to make Red happy. Good, that means Pink is mine now. But wait, Red betrays him, goes for Pink, but learns he messed with the wrong larva. She RKO's Red like a queen. This episode is truly great, S tier all the way. Red bounces around on a spring, antagonizing Yellow until they become conjoined for the second time. They bounce around on each other's heads for a while, Yellow farts on Red and he screams, Yellow breaks free to take a shit, and Red bounces right into the toilet. What an ending. Yeah, this one sucks hard. F tier. The larva freeze to death while watching some fireworks when freaking Santa just walks up and sends a gift down. I don't know how he got it through the grate, but that's not important. It's a cute little cake, he knows they love food. But of course they can't just enjoy it, instead a firework lands in the cake and launches them around the sewers. It finally ends up back in the cake, exploding everywhere as a nice little Christmas message appears on screen. Aww, if only I didn't hate it. F tier. In this one, Yellow is just the Terminator now. Don't ask why, he just is, okay? But wait, there's 2 Yellows? The Terminator decides there can only be one, but accidentally shoots himself, revealing his robotic insides. Red swoops in to save the day, shoving Yellow's rod up his ass. Wonderful. It's the only thing that can kill the Terminator, so I guess Red is just gonna live forever this way. I'm not joking, this problem is not resolved. What a horrible episode, F tier. A hunk of cement falls and traps a larva in place. They fight over a piece of meat with a little tongue lightsaber action. A mystery substance falls near them and they manage to drink it. If only it wasn't hot sauce! They shoot flames at each other and the episode ends. Guys, I promise we're almost done. D tier. Apparently the episode titled Larvata is supposed to be like Avatar, the blue tall people movies. They really went all out on the scenery here, and we can see that random moth return more appropriately. Wait, Red and Yellow are blue now? How can I tell them apart? Yellow climbs up and fights the moth, tying its mouth shut and jumping on its back. They even dock penises together and become friends with benefits. Red meets a big scary one who actually wants to be friends too. They dock as well, but clearly he's stronger than Red is. And he flies around with Red's dead corpse flowing in the breeze. I really do not like this movie references, man. They all suck. D tier. Last 2 guys, last 2. Red gets an earbud stuck in his mouth, causing him to do some hip hop. Yellow joins him and they do some cool dance moves. Green comes to watch, apparently he's a big music fan. Obviously he eats them, being forced to dance too. I am truly happy this is about to be it. C tier. Episode 52, this is a big one. And it's called Snot. Great. Yellow sneezes on Red and gets the snot beat out of him. See what I did there? Apparently they go to sleep right after this and an entire river of snot flows out of Yellow during this time. Yellow climbs up with the help from a Snot, loving this episode by the way, and invites Red to join him. On his way up, Yellow sneezes, launching him into the snot pool. Then he drinks a bunch of snot, falls in again, and dies. What a perfect ending to our video, am I right? This list deserves one last F tier. What a fever dream this has been. I went in having the lowest possible hopes for the show, only to love the first couple episodes. I don't think there were many more quite as good as that after that point. All the ones in S tier feel pretty generous. The adventures of Red and Yellow are always insane, their kooky cast of side characters are always fun to see, and I am always left guessing what the hell is going to happen in every single episode. But the charm wears off quick, and I honestly have a tiny bit of hope that this video does horribly and I never have to watch Larva again. But of course, there is a small chance this video goes crazy and I'll be back to watch another 50 episodes of the schlock in no time. Anyways, I do apologize for being so cynical at times, but I do think the show deserves it. If you grew up loving the show or just find it funny ironically, that's totally fine. I laughed here and there throughout, I do have a bit of brain rot, so let me know what you love or hate about the show in the comments. My members definitely have brain rot, you have to if you support me. But hey, if you're already dead in the brain, then why not? Please consider becoming a member of the channel today. Thank you Leland, Patrick Myerjean, Breakstreak, Dojo Master, Jasper TV, Keep, Gall Guy, Jeff the Legend, Cheaper Ying, Test Monkey, Marie, Kellen Ford, Cyrus Taken, Perskill Banana Trekkie, Green Man Yeah, Mr. Odell, Timor Kurna, Aaron the Ghoul, Freakish Smile, Bordo Bordo, Pika Girl for You, Miku, Gemini Lewis, MD's Twitchy, Tapood74, Cameron, Omegon, Marcus, Lavatane, Tarky, Chris Out Creations, Kirby Channel 2, and my favorite member I can't name. And okay, Jonathan Biscoff and Skibbity. I wasn't joking guys, screw Sasha Lynx, screw Prudence, screw Solar Flare, my heart is set on Pink now. I'm gonna go watch every episode with Pink in it and turn this channel into a Pink fan cam reposter exclusively. I love Pink. They lovingly share the nut before turning... They lovingly share the nut before being turned into nutcrackers. They lovingly share the nut before being turned into They lovingly share the nut before being turned into nutcracker slaves as they very clearly deserved.